Oi, and how much credit did I spend last week?
Well, you spent 5 CDs on calls, 2 megabytes on data, and you sent 5 SMSs.
We are the first network that tells you exactly what you have spent and when you spent it. Dial *545# to access your statement on MTN.
We're there for you everywhere you go.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from Joy 99.7 FM in Accra at digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. Affiliates across the country, including ATL FM, Cape Coast, Radio Max Takrate, and around the world at myjoyonline.com. Coming up, proprietor of the Bright Senior High School in the Eastern Region arrested after allegedly instigating students to vandalize property and attacking vigilators. We are live on the ground. Meanwhile, at Indorua Dakpa Senior High School in Damango, some 365 final year students are to pay a bill of not less than 1,000 cedis to repair damaged school property.
And it's going to be a debt, a scar on 2020 candidates of Indorua Dakpa Senior High. It's going to be a scar on you forever and ever.
Also in this package, residents of Woolensea in the Northern Region staged demonstration against their DCE for non-performance. More as government sacks 3 local government officials. We have details. Also, the Electoral Commission says data from its just-ended nationwide registration exercise justifies its push for a new electoral roll.
We are doing everything possible to ensure that we have a register that is very credible, so that we won't come back to Ghanaians and say we are going to do that. So no new register, at least in the next foreseeable future.
More as provisional data put out by the EC today has total registered Ghanaians at 16.6 million. And in sports,
we'll be live in the Ashanti regional capital as Kumasi Asante Kodoko unveils Nanayao Amponsa as the club's new CEO.
Also coming up,
this guy just changed, said it's over. And I said, who is this person? And he said, it's the girl that braids your hair. I nearly died.
She told me she's pregnant for me. I just found out from the mom that someone has come to perform knocking or something. Almost 3.5 years now.
That's how it feels to get a broken heart. We'll hear some experiences of callers on the Super Morning Show, and later we'll tell you about the Angela hitmaker Kwame Eugene's new single, Open Gate, which he released today and has been trending.
Call your mommy, I call my mommy. But the Kwame Eugene you guys were seeing 4 years ago was someone who just came from Padama, maybe in the airport to come in COVID. But this time around, God being so good, I've been able to experience it.
More of that and details of his upcoming album, Son of Africa. I'm Bernice, Abu-Baidoo, Lansah. Thanks for your company. The details now. Let's begin from the Eastern Region, where the proprietor of the Bright Senior High School at Kukrintumi has been arrested after allegedly instigating students to vandalize school property and attacking vigilators. Kofi Siam is among the Kofi. We understand the headmaster was just about to address the press before he was picked up.
Yes, Bernice, he was about to speak to the media because since the incident transpired yesterday, the school authorities hasn't been able to speak to the issue. So he decided that he addresses the media today. But just as he was coming down from his office, we saw some police officers in a vehicle and they arrested him and took him away to Koforidua. So we've been to the regional police command in Koforidua to find out whether he's been brought there. We are here, but there is no sign of his presence here. So we've just been told at the Divisional Police Command, also in Koforidua, that he's been sent to the Bureau of National Investigations Office in Koforidua.
He's been accused of instigating the students. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, that is a claim by the WAEC official yesterday. you know, when the incident happened, they reported the matter to the police in Kukwentumi and Tafoso. The police also took their statement, and I'm sure because of that statement, that is why the police officers have come to arrest him today.
Mood in the school at the moment?
Come again?
What is the mood in the school?
Well, when I went there, the mood was calm. The students were busily writing their exams when their head was picked by the police.
Thank you very much. Kofi Siao is a man in the Eastern region. Let's head up north now, because some 365 final year students of the Indowura Jakpa Senior High Technical School in Damango are to pay a bill of not less than 1,000 cedis to repair damaged school property. A property like dining hall furniture, a new 6-unit classroom block, and a master's bungalow including furniture in the examination hall, louver blades, were all toppled and vandalized in protest of what the students say is strict invigilation. Joy News is learning that management has resolved to block the school's website, making it impossible for students to access their results until they foot the bill. Well, we'll be getting more details from my colleague Isaac Nyonya, and he's been to the school and joins us via phone. Isaac, what's the atmosphere and demeanor of the students after this announcement was made to them?
At the moment, the students are very calm and sober after they were spoken to by both the MC of the area and the Municipal Director of Education. Before the students started their exam and before the MC came, Johnny was there earlier, and I saw many of them, mostly boys, trooping towards the exam hall and arranging the furniture. But it took one of the masters to tell them to hold on till the exhibit were taken by the MC and his team. So they stopped and went back until they were called to come and prepare for the exam. So I can say for now, the atmosphere is very calm. The students have settled for the rest of their papers, and then things are in order and peaceful. We understand the MCE was a tutor of the school, and he made a few comments about punishments. Really so. Mr. Muhazi was once a tutor, and having left a few months ago or a few years ago, he did not take a candle with the student what they have done. He was surprised, according to him, and he condemned what they did. He think what they were doing will not go unpunished, and according to them, he was very specific with them, by telling them they will be billed when they come individually to pick their results.
It saddens me that such a thing has happened in Indowura Jakpa Senior High Technical School. And it's going to be a debt, a scar on 2020 candidates of Indowura Jakpa Senior High. It's going to be a scar on you forever and ever. Government has done what it can do to put you in a situation that you have a better future. Today, what happened? If the school is going to take assessment of the level of distractions that you've made, and they want to bill you at the end of the day, and that one will happen. When you are coming for your results, you are not going to come in a mob. You are going to come individually to come and pick your certificate. And that is when the bill will be imposed on you, and you will not even have the access of getting your results on the internet, because the school block it at the end of the day.
Isaac, the MC was not the only one who spoke to the students. The Municipal Director of Education at West Gonja, Ferguson Ake, we also here didn't have kind words for the students.
Yes, Mr. Ferguson was a smart man yesterday, and communicating that what the directory has for them. He told them that the directory saw what they did as a total a breakdown of discipline on campus, and he encouraged them to turn a new leaf and prepare for the rest of the exam, because exam is part and parcel of students when you are studying.
We are in the news all over the country. It's rather unfortunate. And the whole directorate is not happy about what has happened. And I will not miss words. I'm really disappointed. So I don't even understand why you should even be complaining about the spacing. Look at it. We are here on Monday, and we realize even compared to other schools we went to, yours is even closer. So the regional director will be here. We'll be looking at the issues, and any decision will be communicated to you. Anything you do today will affect you for life. Because of what you have done, there will be a lot of attention, even concerning the papers that will be coming from this center.
That was the West Gonja Municipal Director of Education, Ferguson Aki. Well, Deputy Education Minister Dr. Abu-Baidoo has asked WAEC to adopt modern approaches in dealing with the indiscipline. He spoke on Joy News Prime.
Ghana Education Service have assured that they are going to make sure that those students are brought to book. And all that I will say to the students is that when you happen to be in your final year writing, the last thing you want is to engage in more practices and get yourself caught up in a situation where your future will be held in a balance.
Meanwhile, Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwa, has served notice any student found to have misconducted themselves in the recent unrest on campuses will be made to commute from home to write the exams under parental guidance. My colleague Winston Amo has details of that statement.
Well, so Bernice, according to the GAS, management has received reports of instances of some involved in unprofessional conduct, and they wish to state clearly that school rules and regulations, in particular those involving the conduct of examinations, have not been suspended. It continues further that any student established to have misconducted themselves in any of the acts of indiscipline should be deboardized and be allowed to commute from home to write the exams.
So what sanctions shall be preferred against those who've destroyed a property?
Well, according to the Director General of the Ghana Education Service, any destruction of school property will be surcharged against culprits established to have been involved, and instances where criminal acts have been committed should be reported to the police. He added that directors have been directed to take action on all such misconduct and submit reports to the Director General of Education immediately.
Winston Amo with details of the GS statement on student vandalism. But why has this year's WASI been characterized with this desire for leaked questions, popularly known as APO? Well, we've been seeking views from some Ghanaians on the streets of Accra.
I think these days, the moral education that we give students in school is kind of coming down, because some few years back, you dare not stand in front of a teacher and do certain things. Like, you can't even do certain things on camera.
The smartphone bit, I will not endorse it in senior high schools. It's spoiling them, let me put it that way. It is spoiling them. It's exposing them to so many things too early. And then they are taking things that are supposed to be taken serious now for granted. Because if I'm going to be copying serious senior high school, when I come to the university, what am I coming to do?
Someone made them believe that they are entitled to something in the examination hall, or even ahead of the examination. They're entitled to something, and whatever happens, it will be provided for them, right? So this person may be someone in authority. It could be the headmaster, the teachers, or whosoever may be in the position. But they are systematic issues. They are problems that have been in the system for a very long time.
Voices of some Ghanaians on recent developments on the student front. Away from that, residents of Willency in the Nanumba South District of the Northern Region have staged a demonstration against the District Chief Executive, Nantongma Mukaila, for non-performance. The residents cite dilapidated health center and the resourced police as some of the reasons for him to be removed. Clad in red, the angry residents went through principal streets of the town, drumming, chanting for him to be removed. Martina Bugri is our correspondent then, joins us with more on this demonstration. What's the current situation, Martina?
The demonstration has ended. People have gone back to their homes, but they have one strong message. They do not want him because he hasn't performed. They are saying that their health center currently has been downgraded to a kids compound, and that is because logistics have not been provided for people to work, and so they have had to be downgraded. They also cite the recent buses that were distributed by government. They said if their DC was up to the task, he should have lobbied for one for the school there because they think that they are one of the schools that really do not have any means of transport and needed one dearly. Now, one other issue to the race was that the police there do not have means of transport to do policing in the district, and that is actually affecting them. One other thing they also said was that you compare Pandai and Bimbla, they are seeing more development, and they are alleging that the DCE says he hasn't got anybody at the top there to lobby, and that is why he's unable to bring development. Martina, and for these reasons, they think that he should go.
Do we know if the actions of the residents was in any way influenced by the president's decision to relieve some 3 local government officials?
I think that their action is just they think that the man is not performing. They think that he should go. They have planned this for a long time. It was just a matter of time for them to embark on this demonstration to drum home their point.
And has the DCE responded?
The demonstration has just ended. We are yet to get to the DCE for his response.
Thank you very much. Martina Bugri is a woman in the northern region. In a related development, President Akufo-Addo has relieved DCE for the Amansia South District in the Ashanti region, William Asante Bediako, and the Kriapim North Municipal Chief Executive, Dennis Abuaje, of their positions. The decision was presented in a statement released by the local government ministry, nominating new people to take over their positions. But Joy News is learning that Mr. Bediako may have been sacked for allegedly defending operations of illegal miners within his district in a video gone viral. In the video, which was reportedly taken at a ceremony to commission a toilet facility at Mansu Tontokrom, the DCE expressed his disagreement with activities taken to clamp down on illegal mining, popularly known as galamsey. Let's hear excerpts of this video in local dialect tree.
I'm telling you. And you see that I'm say confusion customer. The customer no say I didn't know much more yano. So one ya made a member am here. So let's know as if piano. Many one single this year. You come and see the play. I want me ama bemu. Radio so near Atentia. You see this radio so guarantee so. Me so guarantee so say. Sebia, Kenya guarantee. And Cabosan Crano and Kiamubi or Manswada. Ebia, Sanya Galamsey and Chrome for penny to my young pa, and Kamansunia Cola, what means Oka, 1 billion. And you say, Yaka school, Yaya Hoya, who be at Galamsey, near Camp, maybe I could hear, we Chrome for, Yajuma and
Lava FM Erastus Asari Donko has been gathering more information on this and joins us on the line. Erastus, first translate what the DCE said for us.
Well, he said he's one DCE who has been vilified so much because of galamsey. And people are talking about galamsey, but when they come to Tontokrom, that's the job they do. If not for galamsey, some of the indigents will not be able to buy a 1 billion CD vehicle. And so as for him, he will defend galamsey because galamsey is the mainstay of the people.
So what have you been picking up from his constituents after his sack?
They are jubilating. Many of them are jubilating. They say that they've been haunted by him for some time. Some of them say they've gone into hiding for some time because of him. And so they are happy that the president has taken a decision to relieve him of his post. But there are other people who also are for what he's been doing and defending illegal mining in the area, which they think has benefited them, and so they do not agree with the president's decision.
As I say, no, I'm saying no more so I been no, and so I can't be and now I need this in here. And until who as a man go can and me 2 minutes and say, I don't not this see a move with you. I'm saying, no, there, or they try to form my dear. No, my Bernice tuna, any other than I say. Meda Ghana ne Amansia to ya asi. Dana na Akufo-Addo asi. Mr. Chimitum, bed a cobe 1 month. At the maximum for 4 days. Osad me to mo Koroman 1 week. Osad Chimitum or Dubia and then Quanta, where and also 1 week. And was at the crown until you come a cobe 3 weeks. And decide this in India. The Nyamias pass and an Akufo-Addo. And
Erastus, a brief translation of what we just heard.
Well, so the two of them have been recounting their ordeal at the hands, allegedly, of the DCE. They claim the first person said he was arrested for passing a comment against illegal mining in the area, and that he has been in custody for some time. The second person said he has also been arrested concerning a land that he was mining on when the DCE tried to take over. And so he's very happy. He commends President Akufo-Addo for taking such a decision.
Thank you very much, Erastus Asare Donko, with details there. This is your election headquarters. Now, the Electoral Commission says data from its just-ended nationwide registration exercise justifies its push to have a new electoral roll compiled. Provisional data put out by the EC today has total registered Ghanaian voters at 16.6 million. Deputy Chairperson Dr. Bosman Asare says this is consistent with data from the Ghana Statistical Service regarding the total number of Ghanaians above the age of 18. He's been addressing the media in Accra today.
You know that the Commission is anticipating that in future register compilation, that when we are adding people to it, everyone will come with an identity document, which is the passport and the Ghana card. So that's why we want to do everything possible. The duplication process has been triggered. We want to make sure that all those who don't qualify to be on the roll are removed. We are doing everything possible to ensure that we have a register that is very credible, so that we won't come back to Ghanaians and say we are going to do that. But this commission has made that point very clear, that we are only going to be adding on to this particular register. So no new register, at least in the next foreseeable future.
Dr. Bosman Asare is Deputy Chairperson of the EC. Joseph Akable was at that media interaction and joins us with more. Joseph, give us further details why the EC maintains the previous register would have been problematic.
The Commission explains that some 17.6 million persons were on the previous register, and so if it had registered persons who had just turned 18, they would have been approaching 20 million Ghanaians, which will fly in the face of the data from the Statistical Service, which puts Ghanaians 18 and above at about 57% of an estimated 51% population. And so they make the point that this actually shows that they are on course to have a credible register for the 2020 election.
Yesterday we heard from the Director of Electoral Services, Dr. Sribo Kwaku, who said that they will keep registering even when the borders open. Are they saying that despite that, they're still confident that the number will not be that significant?
In fact, the question I asked Dr. Asare was about if the borders were open, we would be approaching that figure as well. And his response was that there would equally have been people who would have left the country. And they say the data they've compiled today and this particular week shows that not a lot of people are registering because most of them have actually been registered already. He again makes the point that there are duplicates that will be taken off the register as well. And so these are people who registered at two places and they are on a register twice. And so those ones will also be carried out and will be taken off the register. And so once all that is done, they should be within the range expected of the Statistical Service, which will make the register credible.
We also understand the EC is ensuring that this is likely going to be the last must register to be compiled.
He actually says in the foreseeable future, they don't intend to compile any register. And so what they will be doing is, once you have the identity documents and you show up, you've just turned 18, you're going to be added onto the register. And so this is what he believes is a credible register. We don't have people being called upon to come across the country to register again.
Joseph Akable with details of that media interaction of the ECE. Away from that, there has been a lot of criticism of Professor Kwame Ahoy's book Working with Rawlings since its launch days ago. The backlash has come from many key members of the NDC, including Dan Agbodakpi and the very person about whom the book was authored, Jerry Rawlings. The foreword of the book was written by John Mahama's running mate, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman, long before her new role in the party. But exactly what did she say about the book? Here are extracts.
Maybe the intention of Working with Rawlings is to answer the simple question which many want to ask. What was it like? That is, working with a man who excites extreme emotions and whose life and actions have impacted our country so much. It could be a complex question, but it is one the author answers in an accessible but thought-provoking way. Written in clear, engaging prose, the writer invites the reader to receive the content of the narrative as an account honestly delivered. The vivid, engaging, and deeply reflective eyewitness account, couched in an unencumbered prose, brings to the fore events narrated with open honesty and transparency. Part of the strength of working with Rollins may be located between the crevices of a growing body of questions for the protagonist, the author. But I dare say that, as good books do, the book will invite the readers to unearth some questions for themselves as well.
You had the extras of the foreword of Professor Kwame Ahoy's book, Working with Rollins, authored by Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. You're listening to the Midday News with me, Bernice, Abu-Baidoo, Lansah. Still to come...
Call your mommy, make I call my mommy. But the Kwame Eugene you guys were seeing 4 years ago was someone who just came from Padama, maybe in the airport to come in Kobe. But this time around, God being so good, I've been able to experience certain things. Now I can put certain things on people and understand what I'm.
Well, we'll tell you about Angela hit makeup Kwame Eugene's new single, Open Gate, released today. It's been trending. Do stay for details.
The European domestic football action is heading for a big finish as the 2020 UEFA Champions League takes center stage. It's all on the line as Man City, PSG, Barcelona, Juventus, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid face off in an action-packed mini-tournament. Catch it live on SuperSport from the 7th of August. Get DSTV and find out who will be crowned champions of Europe.
Oh my goodness, you cannot write the script for this. This is unbelievable stuff.
This is the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM. It's now time for sports with Hans Mensando.
Now, currently underway in Kumasi is the unveiling of Nana Yao Amponsa as Asante Kodoko's new chief executive officer. The former player agent who contested the GFA presidency and lost would now lead the Porcupine Warriors after being appointed by the club's 12-member board of directors. Love FM's Kelvin Oswansa joins me on the phone to bring us the latest. Hello, Kelvin. How have the fans of the club received this appointment?
Well, they've been in ecstasy. They've been in absolute joy. You know, the Porcupine supporters, that is the students' wing of the Kumasi Asante Kodoko supporters group, together with some other circles, have been here, and it's all been singing, joy, merrymaking since we came here in the morning. And it's just been wonderful to see the fans here meeting the board. So they just welcome the appointment, and they trust that this is a very good choice of the board to lead the affairs of the team.
What are the targets for Nana Amponsa?
Well, to establish a proper brand, a footballing brand that is going to be very viable and competitive on the global market, not just in Africa, not just in Ghana, but across the globe. But it begins from the locals in where Kotoko have been a bit dominant, but he should add up the viability bit. And in Africa, they should be able to perform to the highest level. That is bringing back the glory days of winning trophies in Africa. And he's expected also to make Asante Kodoko's brand more visible and create other sporting units. We know Kotoko is not just a football club, it's an Asante Kotoko sporting club, so he's also supposed to work on that, and with a better structural framework, he's supposed to develop that will withstand the test of time. We just, the spokesperson for the board, Boatin Jensi, just introduced him, and he said that he has been spoken to. They had a meeting that lasted 2 hours before they came. We were supposed to start at 11, but the board meeting with Nana Amponsa prolonged.
Love FM's Kelvin Oswansa there, and the UEFA Champions League returns tonight. Live commentary on Joy 99.7 FM. Manchester City will play against Real Madrid. Juventus up against Lyon. That's your sport.
Very interesting one. I can't wait to arrive alive now. Brought to you by Toyota and Bedrock Insurance. Park, rest, rejuvenate, and continue your journey. This is a call from the overlord of Dagboyana, Abubakar Muhammad II, who's joined our Arrive Alive campaign to curb road traffic accidents and save lives. Diana says it's become clear that driver fatigue is a major contributor to road crashes in the country. Listen.
If there is stress on a driver, passengers should allow them to rest. Even if the driver refuses to rest, you force him to stop, and then you give him some minutes to sleep so that he will be okay. He will come back to his senses, and then he will continue the journey.
Overlord of Dagbonyana, Abubakar Muhammad II, they're giving you some tips on how to arrive alive and stay safe on the road. Now, falling in love with someone you intend to marry comes with unexplained emotions. But when the person you love disappoints you, all sorts of ideas run through your mind. On the Super Morning Show today, some callers shared their broken heart stories.
We had the perfect relationship. This guy just changed and he was like, there's nothing wrong, everything is fine. So Saturday morning, he drives by my house and I see glitter stuck on the car seat. And I was like, what's going on? There's nothing. I just went out with somebody else and it's over. And I said, who is this person? And he said, well, it's the girl that braids your hair. I was like, you're kidding me. Now this is happening in London. I nearly died. I could not eat for like a week. My recovery was I had to go and buy Walkman, and I'm singing any gospel song that I can find for like 2 months.
It's this girl I've known for 2 years now. She told me she's pregnant for me. I just found out from the mom that someone has come to perform knocking or something here. Almost 3.5 years now. But this girl that I confide in has let me down, so I can't sleep. I'm very down.
You had some callers on the Super Morning Show sharing their broken heart stories. It's now time to get some entertainment news, and Becky is here. We understand Kwame Eugene's new song is trending. Tell us more about it.
Yes, Kwame Eugene, he has released a new single, Open Gates, ahead of the release of his upcoming album, Son of Africa. At a private album listener yesterday, Kwame Eugene revealed exclusively to Joy News the album is a representation of life experiences and can't wait for Ghanaians to hear it.
I've traveled, I've seen things, I've had experiences, I've met people. Do you get it? So when I'm putting it on paper now, I know, okay, I've seen this before, I've been through this before. But the Kwame Eugene you guys were seeing 4 years ago was someone who just came from Padama, maybe in the airport to come in Kobe. But this time around, God being so good, I've been able to experience certain things. Now I can put certain things on paper and understand what I'm talking about. So,
what does the Son of Africa album give you? Fulfillment or achievement?
Achievement. I haven't actually gotten there, but I can say at the end of the day, if not anything, I've been able to achieve 2 albums in life, and on the other side, I've been able to feature some big acts from Africa, and I think that's a little bit of an achievement on my side.
I know that there was supposed to be an African tour. Is it still, in the pipeline, or have you just forgotten about it?
Hopefully, gates are going to be open, and coronavirus is going to leave this system. We're just hoping. And after that, we can put that plan together.
Becky, that with entertainment, we understand that already has 4 million views on YouTube. Interesting. Now, before I go, Bright SHS is also trending on Twitter. And Blakuma Jaden Smith tweets, the name Bright SHS doesn't match the character of his students. The school should be called Dark SHS because it matches their attitude. And that was our top story. The proprietor of that school has been arrested for allegedly instigating the students to vandalize property and attacking vigilators. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I'm Bernice Abu-Baidoo Lansah. Please don't go away yet. Living Word with Pastor Menso Chapel is up next.